The phone rang while the invoice was still warm on my screen. Not a call. Calls can be reasoned with. This was a scream disguised as a ringtone. I let it ring. Outside the window, morning light slid across marble floors I'd paid for without applause. Inside my chest, something old and sharp rotated, aligning itself. Precision before impact, always. The voicemail arrived anyway. Loud, wet, practiced. "They can't pay," she cried, my name dissolving into noise. "You can't just do this." I stared at the line item totals. Rent, food, utilities. Numbers don't cry. They don't beg. They just sit there, accurate and unashamed. She said artists had soul. I wondered how much soul it took to keep the lights on. My hand didn't shake. My breath didn't change. The calm wasn't numbness, it was decision. I'd crossed something while typing the invoice, a border. Once crossed, there's no customs, no returns. The phone vibrated again and again. I muted it. The betrayal didn't arrive with lipstick on a collar. It arrived as philosophy. "You're too rigid," she'd said months ago, eyes bright with borrowed certainty. "They feel things. You schedule them." I smiled then, paid then, believed then. She started calling it community. Late nights became sessions. Texts went face down. Laughs arrived early and left late. I watched, cataloged, said nothing. Silence is a tool if you know how to sharpen it. She didn't cheat to leave. She cheated to float. Painters with empty wallets, poets with full mouths, men who mistook dependency for depth. They circled her like moths, warm on language, cold on responsibility. And I was the grid behind the glow. The realization came quietly. I wasn't her partner anymore. I was her infrastructure. Shock came second. Not hot, not loud, cold, like a ledger balancing itself. Denial tried to speak, but numbers have a way of gagging sentiment. I didn't accuse. I prepared. I audited my life the way I audit accounts. Phone records first. Patterns don't lie. People do. Locations next. Galleries that closed at 10. Messages sent at midnight from sessions that ended early. Cash withdrawals that matched dinners I wasn't at. I kept my face smooth, kissed her cheek, asked about her day, paid one last month without comment. Inside, the storm stayed contained, pressure building behind reinforced glass. I learned their names without meeting them, learned their habits, learned how often they borrowed her car, her time, my money. She never noticed the shift. Most people don't notice when the floor stops moving until they fall. I drafted the invoice at 2:13 a.m. Clear, neutral, surgical. $4,500. I didn't include love. It doesn't depreciate well. No confrontations, not yet. Truth needs patience to ripen. I waited for certainty, not suspicion's messy cousin. When it came, it was absolute. She came over after the invoice landed, eyes red, voice pre-fractured, theatrics loaded and ready. "This is cruel," she said, scanning the page as if cruelty might be hiding in the margins. I handed her the pen. "Sign," I said. "Acknowledgement only." She laughed, then stopped. "They can't help," she whispered, finally honest. "They're artists." That was the moment, the pivot, the flip. I looked at her, not angry, not pleading, composed. "Then date rich men," I said, "or pay your own way." Her face collapsed inward, like a stage set after the audience leaves. She searched for emotion in me and found accounting. "No," she said, smaller now, "you can't mean this." "I do," I replied. "I already sent it." The real revenge wasn't the invoice. It was Thanksgiving. My daughter-in-law called, voice sharp with inherited entitlement. "If you want to join, come wash the dishes." I paused, smiled. "Enjoy," I said. I didn't go. I went somewhere else. Switzerland doesn't announce itself. It waits. The villa was quiet, clean lines, snow-capped indifference. I posted one photo, accidentally, I'm sure. A terrace, a lake, a life that didn't ask permission. The phone erupted. 71 calls. Not apologies, requests, access attempts, a sudden interest in us. I watched the missed calls stack like unpaid bills. Power isn't loud, it's selective. I didn't answer. I used to think revenge needed heat. It doesn't. It needs clarity. She didn't lose me because she loved artists. She lost me because she mistook provision for weakness and soul for subsidy. I didn't crush her with rage. I corrected an imbalance. In the end, nothing dramatic happened. No screaming, no closure speech, just absence where entitlement used to sit. The lake stayed still, the house stayed quiet. My phone finally stopped ringing. Some people want passion without payment. Some want freedom funded by someone else's discipline. I wanted neither. I closed the ledger and walked away solvent.